Hey everybody, welcome back to Pushing Pixels. I'm your host Sam Mestis, and we're going to work on this Roman soldier deal. I'm not exactly sure where I first saw this tutorial or if I read it somewhere or a version of it. I think it might be a Felix tutorial out of Photoshop user. Either way, we're going to, this is sort of a warm-up project we do in my advanced Photoshop class. So let's get going. First thing we're going to do is we have this Roman soldier right here, and we're going to get rid of the background. So we're going to do this really sort of fast and rough. I'm going to use the quick selection tool, and I am going to start selecting my soldier here, and I should probably turn on my hotkeys for you so you guys can read those. Close that and hide that, and there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to go through here and select, and I'm not going to be too worried about being super accurate because we are going to put this on such a crazy background that it really doesn't quite matter. Everything's going to blend pretty good. So get rid of that section in there like that. Do I have everything? Let's say get rid of that gray there and select that. Get the back of him here. Looks like I may have an okay selection. Let me just grab some of this loose ends on his arm over here. Like I said, it can be rough. It doesn't necessarily have to be completely awesome because the background's going to be crazy. Alright, that's a pretty good selection. Now, in theory, I could probably just Command J this, and let me see how that's going to look. That actually doesn't look too bad. That looks okay. We're going to do that for now since we're moving this along fast. Alright, so I got him cut out. I still have the original one there, but I also have the cutout version of them there. We're going to use our HDR toner. We've used this in class before. So we're going to duplicate this image and work on a separate image. So go to Image, Duplicate, and that is going to make a copy of this project. And get them down. And now I have two of the same project. This is my working project over here. This is the one we're going to tone. It says copy on it right there. Alright, so if I go to my image, adjustments, HDR toner. Yes, it's going to flatten the document. That's fine. And we're going to use the HDR toner I get you. Mine's called Sam's General Toning, but I think yours just says HDR toner. Either way, it gets you, whoa, wrong project for starters. Let's do it on this guy over here. There we go. That one. Image, adjustments, HDR toning. Yes, we're going to flatten that image. Let me just make sure I haven't flattened this image. I need to go back in time and unflatten that. There we go. All right, on our copy. Wow, I'm really struggling here. On our copy one, let's do image, adjustments, HDR toner. That'll be better. That's perfect. And we'll use our toner that we used. And that's what we're looking for. That guy right there. Sorry about that. That got a little confusing. I'm going to take that, and that's perfect. I'm going to drag it over to our working project. So I'm going to go over here and drag it over to this guy, and it will be my top layer. So when I drag it over, I'm going to grab the layer, holding Shift key, and dragging it across because I want it to be centered. And there you go. I don't need my toner anymore. I can get rid of that. And so I have my toner image. There's the cutout. And I'm going to clip this top image right here, this black and white image, to my lower image. And if I hold down my Alt key and click right in the middle of those layers right there, I can clip it. One more thing we got to do is change the overlay mode, or change the blend mode to overlay. And there we go. That gives us a nice high contrasty image that pops quite well. Let me go on, and off. Looks pretty good. Everything starts to pop a little bit. I'll give you another image. It's this guy right here. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to duplicate it. Image, duplicate. Yes, that's fine. It says copy right there. You can see it says copy. And on this one, we're going to do the exact same thing. Adjustments, toner. We're going to build up the contrast on this as well. Go to your toner again that I gave you and do that. Perfect. And again, hold down Shift and drag it over to your working project. Don't need that anymore. And click overlay. And that's really going to sort of build up all the contrastiness of that image. Not too bad. Looking pretty good. I'm going to drag this behind now. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge those both. I'm going to Command E, select both those layers, and Command E, that'll merge the layers together. Perfect. Now I'm going to drag those layers over to my working project and make sure it's behind my cutout guy, like that. Looks pretty awesome. I'm going to scale it up a little bit. I'm going to actually just drag out the sides. I'm going to grab a little handle there, drag that guy out. Free transform. That's what that was. There we go. Now he's looking pretty rough and tumble. I don't need that anymore. And we need to sort of tone this image a little bit more. We need to sort of color it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a blank layer at the very top right there. And we're going to fill that layer with a color. And the color we're going to use is, actually we're pretty close to the color I think I want. Let's say red, 224, 146 for the green, and blue is going to be 46. So it's pretty close. And I'm going to click OK. Now that I've got my color set over there off the color picker, I'm going to fill this layer with my foreground color. And that would be Alt-Delete. We'll fill that. Everything's still there, just the color is covering it up. So there's my guys, there's my background, there's my cutout guy, there's the toner, and this color's laying over. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the blend mode of this color to, let's try soft light. See, that actually looks pretty good. In theory, we could probably use color, but that's going to be a little abrasive. So why don't we try soft light? Let's try overlay. Overlay's not really working for me. Let's try soft light. Soft light's pretty good. I'm going to keep that going pretty good. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this gladiator to blend into the background a little more. So if we go down to our original gladiator layer, not the toner, the actual layer itself, this guy right here, I'm going to change him to hard light. When I put the toner back on him, you'll see kind of how it all blends in. And it's actually pretty good. Doesn't look too bad. And so one more thing we want to do is, let me just check my notes here real quick. Let me do, let's see if I can add just a little bit of a blend mode, help him pop a little bit more. Gradient overlay, that's not too bad. We don't even necessarily have to do this, but we can. I'm going to turn my opacity up quite a bit. And you can see I got this sort of spotlight effect. You can actually see it right there. And I'm actually just going to sort of put the spotlight on his shoulder a little bit. So it kind of backlights him a little bit. And it looks pretty cool. Just like that. Not too bad, right? Everything's looking pretty good. I'm going to darken up the bottom of this a little bit too. We'll go with that for now. On a new layer right above my background layer, put a blank layer there. Brand new layer right above my background. I'm going to reset my colors. I'm going to hit my D key. That'll reset my colors to black and white, foreground color. And I'm going to hit G and go to gradient. Ooh, and it's already set up for me. Awesome. Pick the second one, black to transparent. And we're going to drag up from the bottom a little bit. And I'm holding my shift key when I do this. I'm on the gradient tool, dragging up. And that's pretty good. I'm going to go a little bit higher. There we go. That's not too bad. And it kind of gives it a little bit more contrast. In reality, I kind of want to go up a little bit further even. That's pretty good. That's not too bad at all. Awesome. All right, we got to do one more thing. And we're going to add a bit of debris, some flying rocks. And I'll give you that video file. It's an MPEG-4 file. And I hope I have it. Oh, wrong deal here. Folders. Oh, it's file open. Let's try that. Okay, give me a second. I actually have to go find it. Here's a chapter 5, I believe. There it is, MPEG-4. And as soon as it opens, this is actually a video file that you can play in Photoshop. So I'm going to open up the timeline a little bit. And here's the video file. It starts off black. And if you drag this little blue playhead right here to the right, you can see it play. Or if you want, you can just hit the play button and watch it play. So it'll play this in MPEG-4. And what you're looking at here is someone throwing a bunch of drywall and flour or something like that. So it's just a file of that kind of stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll through by hand and find a frame that I like. And I kind of like that frame. I'm at 20 seconds in, but I kind of like that frame. And the thing you can do is, even though it's a video file, you can copy that frame to your memory, to your clipboard, and use it somewhere else. So I'm going to do a select all, Command A, which will select all, and then Command C, copy, just like on any other program. And I'm going to close that. I don't need that anymore. I'm going to close my timeline. I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to cut and paste, and it should be, have your black layer selected, the one you just made, that little gradient. Have that selected, and if you paste, it'll put it right above it. And in reality, it needs to be above everything. Let's put it on the top. For now, I'm going to scale it up a little bit because I need to see some of the debris just for that. And we need to put it on screen. There we go. And I'm going to scale this up just a little bit so you can sort of see kind of what that looks like. We could also probably, yeah, we should use screen. Screen's a good blend mode. The other thing I like to do with things like that is I kind of like to, I kind of like to warp things. So I usually free transform these and kind of warp them up and give them a little bit of shape. So it's kind of blowing by him. And that's pretty cool. And you can keep going if you want, but that's pretty much it. Give it a shot. Practice, practice, practice. And thank you for watching. Have a good day.